Welcome to Kairos Unscripted, a podcast by Kairos, bringing you unscripted conversations at the intersection of AI, automation, and modern software quality. No buzzwords, no fluff, just real talk about what's actually shaping the way software gets built and tested today. Today's episode is co-hosted by Shivani Sinha and Anamika Ojha. Shivani, head of marketing at Kairos, leads the company's global marketing strategy, shaping conversations around AI, quality engineering, and digital transformation. Anamika, senior marketing manager at Kairos, brings together insights from enterprise customers, industry events, and market trends to tell the stories driving the future of software quality.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Kairos Unscripted. I'm Anamika.
I'm Shivani.
So Shivani, let's start with a story. Imagine it's 2:47 in the morning. A bank in India pushes a routine software update, just a standard regulatory patch, super low stakes.
Yeah, the famous last words in tech, right? That's exactly when the universe decides to laugh at you.
Exactly. By 3 a.m., their API gateways, they start stopping payload during IMPS transfer. But here's the kicker. No error codes, no crash, just silent timeouts. Thousands of accounts they get debited, but reconciliation batch completely fails. That is, money is literally leaving people's account, but it never actually lands on the other side.
Oh, exactly. And it in fact gets worse. By 6 a.m., they are looking at 17,000 failed transactions, right? By 8 a.m., they're trending on X or Twitter. And if you're still holding on to the past. And by 10 a.m., the RBI had already slammed a compliance notice on their desk. So it gets worse day by day.
Oh, absolutely. And the most terrifying part of this entire thing, the code passed every single test before going live.
Right. And that's the massive gap that really nobody's talking about in our industry today. It's not the test that fails, right? That ruins your night. It's actually the test that never existed in the first place. We've often heard versions of the same story, right? Different banks, different technologies, but same outcomes. The system technically passed the testing, but the business still lost confidence. So this is an important aspect that we are seeing it trending these days in the banks.
So today we are diving deep into real world messy QA challenges in banking and finance, the kind of nightmares that keep teams awake at 3 a.m. while staring at blinking cursor.
So now as marketeers at Kairos, Anamika and I have spent tons of time last year and this year attending a lot of BFSI events, from QA Financial London to BFSI Summit Mumbai, Confex this year, and Digital Conclave again sometime in last quarter itself. So what we have found interesting is that the challenges look different at the surface level, but when we go down deep into it, it is all coming to the same reality, right? It's all about the trust. So the moment you find out that the trust is impacted, a technology becomes a business issue, right? So that's what we are going to deep dive into it today.
Absolutely, Shivani. And guys, let's be real. These aren't the glossy success stories we read in vendor brochures. These are the, I would say, brutal truth bomb conversations people are having in the hallways after sipping a couple of coffees. So today, Shivani and I, we will be breaking down those top 3 crises that we keep hearing about. First up, the fraud model that passes every test with flying colors, but still gets absolutely gamed in production. Think about that. Every major player, HDFC, ICICI, Barclays, DBS, they all have invested heavily in AI fraud detection. They have brilliant models, real-time flagging, top-tier tech. But here's the question no one is asking out loud. How on earth do you test a model that literally keeps on changing its behavior?
Absolutely right. And because traditional QA is simple, we think that if you input X, you will get the result is Y, right? But AI models aren't deterministic, right? It behaves in its own way. So the exact same transaction that failed last time might get just slide through this time, right? And basically when the model retrains. So what's fascinating is that it's just isn't the AI problem. It's actually what happens whenever the complexity increases. So we have to look into that from a different lens altogether when it comes to AI, right?
Exactly. So back at Confix, remember Shivani, a senior risk leader, he shared a story with us that honestly gave me chills. So his team had this brilliant fraud detection model, like it was performing beautifully. And then they did a routine quarterly refresh, completely standard. The model passed every single test before going live.
Let me guess, Anamika. I think it learned some creative patterns on its own.
Yeah, it way too creative. So it quietly decided that legitimate salary accounts crediting coming from the government systems looked suspicious. And for 2 straight days, thousands of people couldn't access their own paychecks.
So we are talking about an automated crisis, and we can't even blame the QA teams here,
Right.
right? Absolutely right. So they did everything what is written in the book. It reminds me of that classic Bill Gates quote. So automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. So the real issue was that nobody was talking about the model against the synthetic edge cases, right? So what happens when the real world stops looking at your training data?
Right, Shivani? That's exactly why AI needs continuous validation and synthetic financial data baked right into the pipeline.
Right.
Like not just when you first deploy, but every single time whenever model is sipping a new data.
So which brings us to the crisis number 2, the dreaded regulatory change that drops right before the weekend, if I say so, right? The RBI issues a new circular, or SEBI comes up with a guideline that has got tweaked over the weekend, and compliance walks over to your desk and goes, "Hey, we need this live in 2 weeks." No negotiations, right? Regulations do not care about your 2 week sprint. If the regulation is testing the resilience of the system, AI is testing the resilience of our decision making.
And a single compliance change is a myth. It touches the loan origination module, customer statements, mobile UI, and API layers. You're talking about 8 different legacy systems, all gets impacted by a single line of compliance.
Right. You remember, Anamika, we spoke to a VP at the DevOps conclave, and he told us something that was really interesting that I felt that time. So he actually quoted, "We are basically changing the engine of a plane while it's flying. Oh, and we have to prove to the regulator in writing that we changed it correctly before we land."
No pressure, right? And the data backs this up. Gartner recently reported that BFSI organizations are spending 30 to 40% of their QA budget just on a regulation driven regression testing. So think about that. Nearly half of their budget they spend just to stay in the exact same place, nothing on new innovation.
It's a massive drain. We have seen teams break out of this firefighting mode. So, for example, if we take a challenger bank in the UK that we have worked with, so they were dealing with this exact headache, testing across their savings app, lending apps, and customer platform apps. Now, every single time a new regulation dropped, they would be in a mess. So once they shifted to end-to-end automation testing across web, mobile, and API, they went from constant crisis management to a confident releasing, in their own words.
And that brings us to the third crisis, the new AI driven customer journeys that look amazing in marketing pitch decks, but give QA team a total nightmare. We are talking about AI loan eligibility module, personalized investment recommendation, or automated premium pricing.
So because a traditional test just asks, right, did the system generate an output? Because an AI journey forces you to ask, was the output fair? Was it explainable? Or can we audit if a regulator comes and knocks at the door today? So Satya Nadella often is seen quoting that every company is becoming an AI company. And you never know, BFSI becomes one of the first industries where this prediction becomes a reality, right? But that also means every bank is becoming an AI testing organization, whether it is planned or not.
Yeah, but BFSI is unlike other any industries. I mean, stakes are really high. If a bank launches a buggy product, I mean, they just don't get embarrassed. They get fined and audited, right?
Valid point, Anamika. So if you, with things like the European AI Act or RBI pushing for strict compliances and audit trails, testing AI outputs isn't about catching bugs anymore now. So it's a flat out compliance requirement. You need guardrails, not just the gates, if you call it so. I remember Amit Deshpande talking about the same thing at Confix this year, right? So he spoke that you can't test AI the way you test the traditional codes because codes fail deterministically, but AI is tested probabilistically, right? You need guardrails and not just gates.
Yeah, Shivani. So let's pivot to a business case because I know you and I, we love talking about guardrails and edge cases and saying that we need a better testing. But that doesn't magically open boardroom budgets. Like numbers talk.
So let's drop some data over here. According to IBM, the average data breach in the BFSI industry costs a whopping $6.8 million today. So this is 22% higher than the global average that we see across other industries.
Oof. And it's not just the hackers. KPMG found that 73% of institutions, they had a material software incident in last 12 months. And that was due to inadequate testing, nearly 3 quarters. But we are seeing teams actually break this cycle, Shivani. So Forrester recently did total economic impact study on actual Kairos deployment, and the real data is wild. So we are talking about 213% ROI over 3 years, payback under 6 months, 90% of testing fully automated, and $228K saved just on regression testing alone.
That's huge. It sounds great, but let me tell you what stood out to me from this Forrester study. So it wasn't actually the ROI, if I say so, right? It was what those numbers actually represented behind every metric that you mentioned. There was a bank trying to solve a very human problem. So how do you innovate without increasing the risk? Every release increased the testing effort. If you see, every new digital experience increased the complexity. Every delay slowed down the business. The ROI was the actual outcome. The real story was confidence. Again, going back to the same thread that we started, it's all about trust.
Right.
In fact, in that same study, a CTO from the UK Challenger Bank mentioned that using Kairos web testing allowed their agile teams to dramatically speed up release cycles. It helped them ship core savings and lending updates right on time because they saw a substantial reduction of defects and work.
Substantial reduction of defects and work. If you're a tech leader, I'm pretty sure this would be music to your ears, right? It means fewer late night incidents, fewer frantic escalations to the leadership, and a lot more peace of mind.
Yeah, I've often heard this from the tech executives who come during these events who talk about that every technology decision we make in BFSI today eventually becomes a trust decision. And that is very, very important because trust, once broken, is the most expensive thing in the world to be rebuilt.
That's really the common thread, Shivani, that we talked about. The fraud model that gets gamed, trust problem, the regulatory update that accidentally breaks a background integration, again, trust problem, and AI recommendation engine acting weird in production, that again is a trust problem.
The financial institutions that are winning the game right now are the ones treating quality engineering as a core business strategy and not just as a checkbox they rush through, right? Before they go live. It has to be baked into every single sprint, every release, every AI model deployment. Because what happens is the customers is not bothered or they don't see the automation framework that you've built. They never see your AI model, or they in fact don't see your test cases that you've built as well, right? They are only and only focused about the outcomes.
Exactly, Shivani. So if you are a leader in BFSI space, the real question isn't whether you should invest in advanced quality engineering. The question is how much market trust you are willing to risk by relying on the test you didn't run.
The organizations that win today might not be necessarily the ones that deploy AI first. They will be the ones that can prove that their AI deserves trust. And that may become the most important competitive advantage in banking today. On that note, thanks so much for hanging out today with us on Kairos Unscripted. Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. Drop your thoughts and comments or reply. What's the absolute biggest QA nightmare that is making you awake at 2 a.m. today?
Right. And leave the horror stories below. If you found this episode helpful, go and share with a teammate who might need a little peace of mind today.
Definitely. Well, that's our time. Stay curious, friends, and ship confidently.